YouTube, y'all, we come with top 20 Disney villains who were right all along. Look, now that I got older and I go back and watch like some of these movies and like some of these shows, bruh, I low-key feel like I relate more to the villains. And it's not even just like cartoon characters. It could be like the Joker. It could be or anime, bro. I watch plenty of anime. So it's like I just like see myself related more to the villain, but there's also like some heroes too. I feel like it's way harder to be a hero than a villain in some cases, cause like say like Spider-Man. I don't till this day I don't understand how Spider-Man does it. Like this nigga, he doesn't win. I can't remember a time Spider-Man has truly won. Like anytime, like this nigga done lost his mom, with his dad, his grandpa, not his but like he can't win. Like. And then, if we talking about the movies, nigga done lost his girl too. So, bruh, let's go ahead and get into the video, because I can talk all day about Marvel. I'm like a nerd at heart, especially about Disney too. I'm a nerd low key on the low. I can't even lie. But let's go ahead and get into the video. Let me know who y'all relate to the most in this video. Let's get to it.
All of us, didn't she?
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 Disney villains who were right all along.
What infestation? He's
Nah.
taken over my Gusto's restaurant.
For
He
this
was
list,
cooking,
we're
though.
looking at antagonists in Disney and Pixar's animated films who are the most justified, even if misguided, in their actions. We're talking big
Meet the
baddies,
Robinsons?
henchmen, and problematic
Ghost.
characters. As long as they're not the hero, they're eligible. We might spoil some plots though,
Talk to
so
me.
this is your warning.
Eh.
If these characters are in the right, does that mean their corresponding heroes are wrong? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Number 20, John Silver, Treasure Planet.
And when the time comes, you get the chance to really test the cut of your sails and show what you're made of. Well, I hope I'm there.
The cybernetic pirate may be in the dirty business of hunting
He
treasure,
looks evil.
but he's not a bad guy. Sure, he has an abrasive demeanor and he's greedy, but he also has a sense of honor.
Okay.
His principles include avoiding violence and harm whenever possible. Plus, he has his priorities straight. Near the end of the film, when he's given the choice between rescuing Jim or a bunch of valuable goods, he picks Jim.
Oh, yes, made for a boat.
Real nigga, man. Real nigga.
He clearly loves the troublemaker like he would his own child, and gives him support that Jim didn't otherwise get.
Okay.
He may be complicated, but at his core, Silver is good. Number 19, Morgana, The Little Mermaid 2.
They got a second Little Mermaid? What? They got a second Little Mermaid? Oh God, bro! I just found this out. What?
Burn to the Sea.
What?
The main antagonist from this Disney sequel is pretty horrible, but we understand her perspective. Not only is she an outcast from society,
Since when?
she also struggles with living in Ursula's shadow.
What?
Stop criticizing me! That's all my mother ever did was criticize me! It was always Ursula this or Ursula that.
Apparently, their mother always showed a preference for Ursula. Her motivations are complicated. She's driven by a desire to both avenge her sister's death and to prove that she can do what Ursula couldn't, take over the kingdom.
Talk to me.
Sure, she's violent, but some might say that Triton and his kingdom had it coming thanks to their mistreatment of Morgana and Ursula. Not to mention, Morgana is only able to deceive Melody because the latter's parents, Ariel and Eric, kept her mermaid heritage a
They got a
secret.
second Little Mermaid? I'm still stuck on that.
Always wanted. She's the one who
Y'all knew
loved
this?
you all these years.
I was trying to protect you by fencing me in.
Number 18, Gabby Gabby.
It's the worst Toy Story ever created, bro. I don't know why y'all created this, bro. Like, man, come on, bro. This man, Woody gonna pick a girl over his boys. What they do that at? What they do that at? Man, bro, he ain't even seen this girl. You trying to get me mad? I'm not finna let you do it. He ain't seen this girl since like the first movie. Oh no. Was it the second movie? Since the second movie. Like, come on now. What are we talking about? Like,
Toy Story 4.
and he was still a little boy.
Just one of those moments.
Trash.
I'd give anything to be loved the way you have.
They say hurt people, and it definitely applies to this antagonistic doll. Although her actions are sinister, she acts out of a desire to be loved. Her methods are questionable, but
Exactly.
desperate times call for desperate measures.
No.
Despite being roughly as old as Woody, she's never really experienced what it's like to be played with and adored by a child.
And?
For decades, she's been stuck in an antique store, her purpose as a toy unfulfilled. It's pretty tragic and totally unfair. Woody has had not one but two fantastic owners by this point in the story. Even he realizes that Gabby's deserving of a fair chance at finding one of her own.
What if you're wrong?
Well, if you sit on a shelf the rest of your life, you'll never find out.
Number 17,
Fire
Captain
movie.
Gantu,
Fire.
Lilo and Stitch. Imagine this scenario from Gantu's point of view. As a captain of the Galactic Federation,
Okay.
enforcing intergalactic safety is literally his job. As far as he knows, Stitch is a destructive monster capable of wreaking havoc on Earth and in space.
Makes sense.
So Gantu believes capturing him is in the best interest of both the alien and human populations.
This could be your chance to redeem yourself, Captain Gantu. How soon will you be prepared to leave?
Immediately.
Since Pleakley and Jumba are unable to recover Experiment 626, he's sent in as reinforcement, which explains why he comes in so hot. Sure, Stitch isn't actually evil, but he doesn't know that at first.
Exactly.
And capturing Lilo isn't cool, but Gantu doesn't target her specifically. He's merely determined to complete his mission and
gotta
ends
rewatch
up
this
paying
movie.
dearly for it.
I gotta rewatch this movie.
Councilwoman, let me explain.
Silence! I am retiring you, Captain Gantu.
Number 16, Sid Phillips, Toy Story.
There's nothing you can say about Sid. Sid was plain evil. What are you talking about? Sid was blowing. Well, he didn't know the toys was alive. But still, though, like, how you gonna do toys like that? But maybe he was just creative. See, now you got me thinking. Like, hold on.
Double prizes!
Maybe. I don't know.
home and play.
Nah, that laugh is.
Sid doesn't deserve the hate he gets. Besides not being the best brother and ruining his sister's toys, he doesn't really do anything wrong. First of all, he's a kid. Second of all, he doesn't realize the toys are sentient. Some might argue that he's mistreating his playthings, but as long as they're his property, it's his right to destroy them. Because, again, he initially thinks they're inanimate. He's actually demonstrating incredible creativity with his play, as well as the ability to work in high-pressure situations. By taking the toys apart and putting them back together differently, Sid is developing skills folks like surgeons, scientists, and engineers
This is no job
and these
interview?
abilities can help him as he grows up.
What?
Toys can see everything. So play nice.
Number 15, Lotso Huggin' Bear, Toy Story 3. Lotso is
He
a
was
character
broken,
who
bro.
goes through something terrible and is fundamentally changed. After being lost and replaced, he grows jaded and ruthless.
She don't love you no more. Now come on!
That's a bar. She don't love you no more. That's a fact. She don't love you no more. Let it go.
The strawberry-scented bear takes over Sunnyside Daycare and governs it harshly, to say the least. He's not kind, but he does what he does in an effort to maintain control of his life. Lotso felt secure as Daisy's toy and thought he would always be loved. When that's torn away from him, he finds a way to take charge. It's basically a trauma response.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Daisy, you used to do everything with her?
Yeah? Then she threw us out.
No, she lost you.
She replaced us.
She replaced you.
All he really needs is another child to love
I
him.
ain't gonna lie. A lot of us in life are lots. So look, yes, I'm pausing. Look, when I see a chance to give out free game or to help another person, I'ma pause the video. But anyway, I feel like a lot of people in life, like a lot. So we've been in relationships. And like we get jaded, we get hurt, and it's like, dang, I can't trust nobody no more. And bro, I promise you, there's other people out there. I know you thought you was gonna get married to this person, blah blah. Hey, things happen to get like sometimes like things end so you could like go to another thing that's better. Who knows?
And he doesn't get it. Number 14, Denahi,
Fire
Brother
movie.
Bear. Although he's technically an antagonist, we don't think Denahi is morally in the wrong. The middle child believes not one but both of his brothers were taken by a bear and seeks to avenge them.
Denahi? Denahi, you found me! You wouldn't believe what a nightmare this has been. Denahi? It's me, Kenai!
The problem is that the bear being hunted by Denahi is his brother Kenai, alive and magically transformed.
He doesn't know
Luckily,
that.
Denahi realizes the misunderstanding before he's able to complete his mission. To be fair, revenge isn't everyone's cup of tea, and we certainly understand protesting the unnecessary killing of a creature. That being said, one could argue Denahi's behavior is somewhat justified. He's not an evil person. Rather, he's someone working through the pain of losing his family the only way he knows how.
What? Bro, the old movies had the best like soundtrack, bro. I swear.
Number 13, Evelyn Dever,
Trash
aka
movie.
Screenslaver,
Trash
Incredibles 2.
Trash
Orphaned when
movie.
she was young due to a hero-related tragedy, the tech-smart Evelyn doesn't trust supers, and we can't blame her. She imagines a world where regular people aren't dependent on superheroes, which sounds pretty good to us. While her ambition to keep the heroes illegal is emotionally driven, it is also kinda practical.
Because you have some strange abilities and a shiny costume, the rest of us are supposed to put our lives into your gloved hands.
Yes.
That's what my father believed.
Things can get complicated when vigilantes, superpowered or otherwise, take law enforcement into their own hands, which is essentially what Mr. Incredible and his pals do.
I mean, the same
She
thing.
may go about things
the
the
police.
wrong way, but ultimately, Evelyn was just trying to manage the weird power dynamic that exists between supers and regular people.
The fact that you saved me doesn't make you right.
But it does make you alive.
And I'm grateful for that.
I'm sorry, but she'll go to prison.
That boy got
Number
a strong
12,
chin.
Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed, the Lion King.
Them niggas evil. I don't care. They evil. Oh, you talking
These
about the
poor
hyenas?
somehow get lumped in with Scar, but we think they're victims. They were banished from the Pride Lands for who even remembers what reason. Considering they were essentially left to starve by Mufasa, can you blame them for taking up with Scar?
I will be king. Stick with me, and you'll
Fire
never
stuff.
go
Fire
hungry again.
When Scar reveals his plan to kill Mufasa, you kind of get the feeling that they're not really into it. Instead, they're just desperate to return home.
No way I'm going in there. But you want me to come out looking like you? Cactus butt?
But we gotta finish the job. Well, he's as good as dead out there anyway. And if he comes back, we'll kill him.
And let's not forget that Scar's kind of a scary dude. Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed are just a trio who backed the wrong guy, and continue to obey at first for their own self-preservation.
This movie's on fire, bro.
I am family. It's the hyenas who are the real enemy. It was their fault. It was their idea.
Number 11, Ursula.
See, I
the
remember
Little
this
Mermaid.
movie.
Banished and exiled and practically starving, while he and his flimsy fish folks celebrate. Well,
She was thick as heck. Oh my
guess
God.
to celebrate soon enough. Let some, get some.
She had that.
Close watch on this pretty little daughter of his. She may be the key to Triton's undoing.
Ursula is definitely manipulative, but she never lies to Ariel. Ariel knows that Ursula is a sea witch, and yet actively chooses to seek her out.
What I want from you is your voice.
My voice?
You've got it, sweet cakes. No more talking, singing.
But she did lie though, because she was trying to finesse. Like, you remember, like, she gave her the voice, but then like she made her forget that she gave her the voice, and she like, bro, she's evil.
Zip.
She's evil.
Now Ursula's Ely minions did do some persuading, but there was nothing stopping Ariel from simply swimming away. Instead, she
Nah.
goes to Ursula, asks for her help, and willingly signs away her voice.
Nah.
Ursula never forced Ariel to do
She was
anything she
cheating,
didn't
though.
want to do.
She cheated.
All the villain really did was give the mermaid exactly what she wanted,
was
and then
cheating.
came to collect on what was owed to her when Ariel tried to back out of the deal.
Let her go.
Not a chance, Triton. She's mine now. We made a deal.
Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No. Dang, that paper's that strong.
You see? The contract's legal, binding, and completely unbreakable. Even for you.
Number 10, Edgar Balthazar, The Aristocats.
I never seen this movie.
Admittedly, it's kind of hard to sympathize with a guy who mistreats animals, but to be fair, Edgar's employer, who he loyally served for decades, was planning to leave an outrageous fortune to her cats.
Edgar?
Wait, I have seen this
Leaving a
movie.
vast fortune to Edgar. Everything you possess.
I don't think I finished it though.
Stocks, bonds, this mansion, your country's chateau, our treasures, jewels, and...
Oh, no, George, to my cats.
To your cats.
Sure, it would have gone to Edgar after, but still,
Why he
what
moving
the
like
heck are the cats gonna do with all that money? Can you blame him for getting upset?
They'll be gone. I'll think of a way. There are a million reasons why I
She's gonna
should.
give the money to the cats?
$1,000.
I'll do the same. No. I wouldn't kill no cat, but I'll be like, bro,
Edgar
come on now.
definitely went about things the wrong way. But Duchess and her kittens never asked Madame Adelaide Bonfamie to leave them her fortune. They were just living their best cat lives. As for Edgar, all we're trying to say is that his frustration was understandable.
You are going to Timbuktu if it's the last
Timbuktu.
I do.
His anger was just severely misplaced, and things snowballed.
I know that she heard.
Number 9, Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty.
I really felt quite distressed at not receiving an invitation.
You weren't wanted.
Not what?
I've never seen this movie,
Dear, what
which
an
is crazy.
awkward situation.
What kind of middle school levels of pettiness is this? Are these monarchs really going to invite the entire kingdom over for their daughter's christening and exclude Maleficent?
Yes!
My gift shall be...
You might have to watch this movie too.
Yeah, she's dark and edgy and doesn't fit the aesthetic, but considering her power and influence, the king and queen should have known better.
What is that? What is that?
Idiots! Imbeciles!
Now, the evil fairy definitely overreacted and misguidedly took out her anger on Aurora. But there's no denying that Stefan and Leah were being jerks. We're not saying that the king and queen were obligated to invite Maleficent to the party, but if they didn't want her there, maybe they should have kept it a more low-key affair. Don't invite seemingly everyone but her.
Well, here's your precious princess.
Damn! That's how you feeling?
Number 8, Robert Callahan,
Fire
Big Hero
movie.
6.
Hang on.
Fire movie.
We've invited all these people.
Y'all, it's almost been 10 years since this movie came out. Oh my god. Time is flying. 10 years?
The pilot.
I
was
remember when this
Callahan's
came
daughter.
out.
Callahan blames Cray.
This is a revenge story.
In spite of all the terrible things he did in his quest for revenge, you can't
about to
help but feel
rewatch
at
this.
least a little sorry for this guy. He thinks he lost his daughter in a tragic accident because of a colleague's careless eagerness to test an experimental machine before it was ready.
Was my daughter a setback?
Callahan.
Yes! Nah, I'm just playing. My bad. I was just playing.
That was an accident.
Chill.
No! You knew it was unsafe. My daughter is gone because of your arrogance.
In a fashion similar to his own personal villain, however, Callahan ends up causing the death of his protege Tadashi and becoming a villain in his own right.
Tadashi. Just let him die.
Give me the mask, hero.
He went in there to save you.
That was his mistake.
And yes, he did terrible things
He
after
evil
becoming the
as
masked
hell.
yokai.
Nah.
Still, Callahan wasn't really evil at heart.
What?
He was just a grieving father driven to madness.
You took everything.
He killed that man.
You
No.
sent Abigail into that machine. Now I'm taking everything from you.
Number 7, Yzma, the
Fire
Emperor's
movie.
New Groove.
That's it, Grant. That's it. I'll get rid of Cusco.
The real Cusco?
Of course, the real Cusco. Don't you see? It's perfect. With him out of the way and no heir to the throne, I'll take over and rule the empire.
No.
She is absolutely wild and
Evil.
yes, evil,
Yes.
but that doesn't make her wrong about Cusco. He's initially a horrible emperor. When we first meet him, he's cruel to his people and only cares about himself.
By the way, you're fired.
Fired? What do you mean, fired?
How else can I say it? You're being let go, your department's being downsized, you're part of an outplacement. We're going in a different direction, we're not picking up your option. Take your pick. I got more.
He lives in lavish luxury while his people struggle to make ends meet. And yet, Cusco spends much of the movie whining and complaining about how unfair his life is. He constantly puts Yzma down and neglects her skills and talents.
He can't get rid of me that easily. Who does that ungrateful little worm think he is?
No one would call Yzma's motivations altruistic, but you can't blame her for wanting to see him dethroned.
Not the dinner.
But she wanted him dead, though.
You know.
Oh, right. The poison for Cusco. The poison chosen specially to kill Cusco. Cusco's poison. Fat poison?
Yes, that poison.
And considering she's seemingly the only semi-competent politician in sight, we can't help but wonder if she might actually have done a better job, even if her style proved a little much.
No.
Number 6, Shere Khan, The Jungle Book.
Let go, you big oaf!
Fire movie too, fire
It's hard
movie.
to look past the fact that he tried to harm Mowgli, but to be fair, his motives aren't completely incomprehensible. After all, he's a tiger.
Why should you run? Could it be possible that
Are you trying to argue for this tiger eating a child? I know that's not what you finna do right now. Look, no, I'm not. No. What do I? No.
Don't know who I am?
I know you all right. He thinks that men don't belong in the jungle because all they do is tear everything down.
That's
and
the
when you
point.
think about logging, poachers, and forest fires, just to name a few man-made problems,
Man-made,
this big
not
cat
child-made.
totally has a point.
Sooner or later, Mowgli will meet Shere Khan.
The tiger?
The tiger.
What's he got against the kid?
He hates man with a vengeance. You know that. Because he fears man's gun and man's fire.
His grudge against Mowgli specifically is a little much, but you can't really deny his logic. He's just attempting to preserve his home.
Bravo, bravo. An extraordinary performance.
I miss
And
old
thank
movies,
you for
man.
detaining my victim.
Don't mention it. Your Highness.
Boo.
Let's get out of here.
His willingness to target our young protagonist makes him an irredeemable villain. But if he
Look how fire this
reevaluated his
movie is.
methods,
It came out in
he could be seen
1960.
as a heroic protector
crazy.
of the jungle. Number 5.
This
Captain
came out in
Hook.
1953. This came out. Wait, this came in 19. Wait, they was making a movie in 1950. Wait. Yo, this is blowing my mind right now. What? Bro, they was dropping bangers in 1950s.
Peter Pan.
Right here, Mr. Smee.
I gotta study more.
Hold it, you fool. No!
They was dropping bangers in 1950s.
Captain?
Dreadful. In the original version of this story by J.M. Barrie, Peter Pan is actually a much more flawed character. And when you really think about it, he's not exactly a great role model in the 1953 Disney flick either.
Okay.
He fed Hook's hand to a crocodile, and clearly took pleasure in tormenting the captain.
Good form, Mr. Smee. Good form. Did Pan show good form when he did this to me?
Hi, Captain. Cutting your hand off was only a childish prank, you might say.
Aye, but throwing it to that crocodile, that cursed beast likes to taste me so well, he's followed me ever since.
It's one thing to hurt an opponent in the heat of battle, but to feed their hand to a crocodile is just plain malicious.
Yeah, that is crazy.
The argument that Peter's just a boy doesn't really hold up either, because he's literally young forever, which just means Hook's pain is never ending.
Well, well. A codfish on a hook.
I'll get you for this, Pan. If it's the last thing I do.
Honestly, it wouldn't be hard to rewrite this story with the villain and hero roles reversed. Number 4. Hades.
That nigga's
Hercules.
evil. He's evil.
Hades and Zeus take sibling rivalry to a whole other level. Hades was banished to the underworld by his holier-than-thou brother.
Did he just want war?
Imagine how it made him feel to be all alone down there while all the other gods got to live in paradise on Olympus.
Oh, Hades, you finally made it.
How are things in the underworld?
Well, they're just fine. You know, a little dark, a little gloomy, and as always, hey, full of dead people. What are you gonna do?
We're not condoning his behavior. He did try to hurt the innocent Hercules in an attempt to overthrow Zeus, and that's a no. That whole thing where he released the Titans to destroy all of the gods because they neglected him was super petty too.
And now that I set you free, what is the first thing you're going to do? Destroy him! Good answer.
But he just wanted a place on
That's a fire
Olympus,
movie, too.
and we can't help but feel for him in that regard.
Chef
Number
Kiss.
3, Michael
My favorite movie of all time, or one of my favorite movies of all time. This movie I've rewatched so many times as a child. It's ridiculous. I'll probably watch this movie I watch Avatar like almost every night, like to go to sleep to, and I watch this movie almost every day. Like this movie was so fire. And then when they added it on Cartoon Network, oh my god! If y'all never seen Meet the Robinsons, go do that today.
Goob Yagoobian, aka Bowler Hat Guy. Meet the Robinsons.
Game didn't go so well, huh?
Fire movie.
I fell asleep in the 9th inning, and I missed the winning catch. Then I got beat up. Afterwards, Coach took me aside
Look at him,
and told
man.
me to let it go.
Poor Goob, or should we say Bowler Hat Guy. His juvenile, ill-intentioned schemes are motivated by the deep-seated resentment he has
This
for
shit
his
made me
former
like
roommate
peanut butter
Lewis.
jelly sandwiches.
Kept up the night before by the sounds of Lewis's tinkering, Goob falls asleep during a baseball game and doesn't make a big catch. With his confident shot, the orphan grows up to be a loner who struggles because he hasn't processed his pain in a healthy way. So, yeah, his grudge makes sense.
If I hadn't fallen asleep, I would have caught the ball, and we would have won. Do you understand?
For some reason, no one wanted to adopt me.
While he goes down a dark path, all he's really seeking is closure, which he deserves.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he gets taken advantage of by Doris and becomes a part of a plan that's truly evil. Number
That's
2,
true.
Chef Skinner, Ratatouille. We're not fans of how Skinner exploits Gusteau's legacy to sell frozen food and tries to rob Linguini of his inheritance.
All I'm saying is, bruh, if I see a rat cooking, bruh, I'm not finna question it. Are y'all? Like, I'm just saying, bruh, like, I'ma just be like, oh, that's my nigga Ratatouille. I'ma let him do his thing. Like, I'm not even finna get away. Like, I'm just saying, though, like, if you really in that month cooking and chefing it up, is y'all finna be like, oh, a rat. I'm gonna be like, okay. Like, and then he go over to the sink, wash his hands. Shit, I'm gonna wash my hands with him. Like, what? I'm not finna question that. Like,
That being said, we're on board with his efforts to keep rats out of a commercial kitchen.
Kill it.
No? No, not in the kitchen. Are you mad?
I get that
You
part.
know what would happen to us.
He didn't know he was setting it up at that time, though.
They'd close us down.
To state the obvious first, it's a huge health violation. Who knows where those rats' claws have been? Not to mention, it's kind of unfair for Linguini to get credit for food he didn't technically make. Skinner taking Remy is a little much, but we don't mind him reporting what he sees to the health department.
First opening is 3 months.
It must happen now. It's a gourmet
Monsieur, I have the information. If someone cancels, I'll slot you in.
But the rat.
Gusteau's
3 months?
famous restaurant closing is a sad consequence, but Remy, Linguini, and Colette seem to end up okay in the end. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the
Y'all go
bell to
subscribe
get
to the
notified
channel, man.
about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them.
Talk
If
to
you're
me.
on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Talk to me.
Number 1, Syndrome.
Yes, sir.
Incredibles.
No, you don't have to worry about training me. I know all your moves, your crime-fighting style, favorite catchphrases, everything. I'm your #1 fan.
That was crazy. I can't lie.
No one is responsible for the actions of others, but Mr. Incredible's treatment of this impressionable young man certainly didn't help matters. It was clear that this fan was in need of some guidance, and Mr. Incredible was totally patronizing.
How's that on
leaning
him,
into
though?
the elitist mentality of superheroes.
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
That
It
is
tore
crazy.
me apart. But I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anyone, especially your heroes.
Even after supers became
That's a
illegal,
bar.
Mr. Incredible had this obnoxious air about him like he was somehow owed more because he was once a superhero. Syndrome's tactics are irredeemable, but the philosophy that drove them is a good one. Why shouldn't average people be able to be super?
True.
He was a champion of the little guy and believed in equal opportunity, using his intelligence to achieve it.
After all,
I am your biggest fan.
That's a
Buddy.
crazy.
My name is not Buddy! And it's not Incrediboy either. That
This is
ship
probably the
has
best movie
sailed.
Disney ever made.
All I wanted was to help you. I only wanted to help!
If only he hadn't turned to such villainous methods. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other
I
recent.
don't agree with all of them. Like the Mowgli one is crazy. The Mowgli one is crazy. I don't know how you try to argue for that one. But if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know who y'all agree with the most, and I'll see y'all boys and girls next video. We out. Ugh.